Hi there, my darling Aries. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to your reading for the week of August 11th, 2025. So, my darling Aries, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Spirit Animal Oracle. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my tarot cards here, and then we will finish off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Aries, what does Aries need to know for the week of the 11th of August, 2025. Let's see. Got Antelope Spirit. Life is speeding up. Yes, it is, my darling Aries. Life is speeding up. And for you, I would say life is very much going to be speeding up this week. So, I mean, we've got Mercury coming out of retrograde at the end of this month, of this week. So be prepared, my darling Aries, that life may just be speeding up for you, which sounds good. All right, let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Aries. What does Aries need to know for this week of the 11th of August? Alrighty. Magician, love it. 7 of Swords. And the Lovers. Alrighty. Sure they are all in view for you. Alright, my darling Aries. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I will intuitively put the reading together for you. So you start off here with the Magician. Now, as we're talking about life speeding up, this can certainly be something that triggers life speeding up for you, my darling Aries. The Magician is all about manifestation, and if what I feel here for you off this Magician card is that your words may be spells this week, my darling Aries. That's what popped into my head. So be aware of how you talk. Be aware of what you say. What just popped into my head was be careful, my darling Aries, what you wish for, because it may just come true this week, or it will. The wheels will turn for you, my darling Aries, is what I'm feeling. You can see here on the Magician card, there's all the suits in the tarot here, and the Magician is master of all those suits. He is, what brings, your wishes, your dreams, your manifestations together and into the physical realm. And you can see here also, on here, you can see it, the infinity symbol, which is that symbol of infinite possibilities, my darling Aries. So, with this life speeding up card and this beautiful Magician card, I would be saying to you that, like I said, be careful what you wish for, but I feel that your words are spells this week, my darling Aries, and it will be time for you, I feel, to put into action, to not hold back, to not wait, to move forward, to push forward with what it is that you have been, wanting to manifest with, put your dreams out there, my darling Aries, because this week I feel that things could take off for you, which is, beautiful energy coming in for you, my darling Aries. And then you have the 7 of Swords. So, I mean, the 7 of Swords, I feel, gets a bad rap because the 7 of Swords, they say lying, cheating, stealing. But I also feel, that, what is happening here is he's stealing these swords from this army in the background. I feel it's more a change of tactics, my darling Aries. I feel that, he's figuring out a different way to fight. He doesn't want to fight this army in the background here. He wants to just take these swords and, make them unable to fight, my darling Aries. So I feel what would be good for you with, and, it sort of comes into line with that Magician card as well, would be to try a different way to do something. Try a new tactic, because I feel that new tactic, and this might come to you as part of an inspiration. It may come to you as, in your dreams. You might overhear something that triggers something in you to go, I could do that. You might get that, even though I don't have any cards here of like the Ace of Wands or anything like that, spark of inspiration, or, I feel though that spark of inspiration will come from the Magician card, that you will be so in tune with the universe this week, my darling Aries, that you will download information not even realizing it. And like I said, your words are spells this week, my darling Aries. That's what I'm feeling up really strong, very strongly for you. And I feel that if you could just find a different way of approaching something, a goal, wish, or dream, or something that you've been working towards, a project that you may have stalled a little bit, I feel that you will come up with a different way to handle this, or put it into practice, or something like that. That's what I'm getting off the Seven of Swords for you. I am not getting lying, cheating, stealing off this for you. And even though the Lovers is here, I feel that, and I don't want to put it all together just yet, so we will talk about the Lovers. So the Lovers is Gemini energy. So if you have Gemini in your chart, I would definitely go and watch the Gemini reading. But what I feel off the Lovers card is, it used to be called the Choice card in the tarot. But it was still a choice or a decision to make in a relationship. So, what I feel for you, my darling Aries, off this Lovers card is I'm not getting love. And look, but love is always open to us. So, take that how it resonates. But what I feel is that there is a choice or a decision that you need to make. In the traditional tarot, there's a man and a woman, and there is a mountain between them. There's clouds, and then there is an angel, and then the sun is above the angel. The mountain between them literally means a mountain between them, an obstacle, a challenge, a crossroads that they have come to. So what I feel for you is that there is some kind of challenge that you've come up against, and that it becomes evident here with the Seven of Swords as well, that you've come across a challenge that you need to figure out the best course of action, the next move forward. Where will you go from here, my darling Aries? That's really what I'm getting off the Lovers card, is that you have a choice or a decision to make as to which way you go next. And I feel that that's the catalyst for you, my darling Aries, is that having that choice or a decision to make will propel you forward, will cause your life to speed up, my darling Aries. That's just what I'm sort of feeling for you off the Lovers card. Like I said, I'm not feeling love, but like I said, love is always open to us. So if I'm going to put it all together, and I probably already have, but I really feel that, like I said, you've got a choice or a decision to make. As I said, your words are spells, so be careful what you wish for, as I said here. But I feel off the Seven of Swords, that's what's standing out to me, is to choose a different direction, choose a different way, try a different way of doing something, my darling Aries. You're being asked to make a decision. Take the path less travelled is what I feel, my darling Aries. I feel that you're being encouraged to try a different way of doing something, and it will cause unlimited potential here. That's what I feel. And your life to speed up in a good way, my darling Aries. So, I'm feeling only good things for you. I do. I feel that this is going to be a week of change. Like, something's going to change here, and where things were stalling in the past, maybe it was this Mercury retrograde, as I said, that we're coming out of retro shadow this week, that life will definitely be speeding up for you, my darling Aries. And it's going to propel you forward, which is amazing. Fantastic for you, my darling Aries. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I'm very active and interactive in the comments. I would, love to know if this resonates with you, and just drop me just even in a little emoji in the comments. It really does help the algorithm and helps push out, my readings to more people that need to see it. And please share, if you know someone that may need to see this message, please share it with them and subscribe if you can. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Aries. What have we got? Yeah, helpful people. And, that could be, like I said, with this Seven of Swords, changing your tactic could be that you hear something from a helpful person. Like I said, with that, there's something to change. I don't know. I'm stumbling over my words here because I just feel that goes hand in hand with what we were just saying. So look out for helpful people, my darling Aries. If you believe, yes, ask, believe, receive, my darling Aries. Forgiveness. And there may be, off that Lover's card, maybe there's someone, something that you need to forgive. Maybe it's yourself, my darling Aries. So, you never do know what's happening here. Within the next few months, they say, you've got a yes. Love this for you, my darling Aries. So, from what I can see here, you have some beautiful energies coming in this week, my darling Aries. And like I said, I do feel that definitely that life will definitely be speeding up for you, my darling Aries. Thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Taurus. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August 11th, 2025. So, my darling Taurus, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Spirit Animal Oracle. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight Tarot cards, and then finishing off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Taurus, what messages does Taurus need to know for this week of August 11th, 2025? What does Taurus need to know for this week? See the big picture, giraffe spirit, love it. So clearly, my darling Taurus, you're being encouraged this week to look at everything, not to be maybe narrow-minded or anything like that. You're being encouraged to see the bigger picture, to look beyond what's right in front of your face, is what I feel the message is for you this week, my darling Taurus, to maybe open yourself up to new possibilities, to bigger possibilities, to what could be rather than just what is, my darling Taurus, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I'm feeling off that giraffe spirit for you. All right, let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Taurus. What does Taurus need to know for the week of August 11th, 2025? Knight of Wands, the Knight of Cups, and Justice. All right. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, like the traditional meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together for you. So you start off here with the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands is all about perseverance, my darling Taurus. It's about keeping on going, not giving up 5 minutes before the miracle happens. That kind of energy, my darling Taurus. I mean, you can see she's got her 8 wands behind her and she's holding on to one more. She's got to give it one last shot, my darling Taurus. And I feel that that's going to be important for you to, keep going. Don't give up, keep pushing forward with whatever goal, wish or dream it is that you have, my darling Taurus, because, you just need to give it one last shot, I feel, for you. what popped into my head is I don't know whether you've seen, there's a cartoon where the guy's got a pitchfork, not a pitchfork, a pickaxe, that's what it's called, and he's going and he's going and he's going like under the earth, and then he keeps going, and then he turns around and gives up, and just before he gives up, and he can't see it because the diamond's just there. If he had just done one more, he would have got to the diamond. So that's kind of the energy, and I know that's bizarro, but that's just what popped into my head, was that keep going, because, you know, just if it feels right, keep moving forward. That's the message that I'm getting, because, like I said, don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle happens. It's happening for you. It's coming for you, my darling Taurus. We are in this last week of Mercury retrograde, the retro shadow, my darling Taurus. So I feel the end of this week is the breakthrough that you've been needing, that you've been wanting. And I feel with that, see the bigger picture, it's important for you to see what the potential is, like I said, rather than what's in front of you, oh, this is too hard, if that makes sense. You know, it's hard because it's meant to be, my darling Taurus. So I hope that makes sense, but that's kind of what I'm feeling. That's the message that's popped into my head and that's coming to me. And then you've got the Knight of Cups here. So the Knight of Cups is, you know, like a knight in shining armor. I mean, I'm not getting a heap of love off this, but, you know, like I said, love, I've said before, love is always open to us. This could be a person. It doesn't necessarily have to be a love connection, but I feel that there could be, you know, someone coming in to support you that makes you feel that almost like they've saved the day, if that makes sense, my darling Taurus. That this person, like I said, is your knight in shining armor, but doesn't have to be love. You know, it could be that you're working on a project at work and this one of your colleagues comes in and you know, just gives you that final piece of the puzzle that you've needed, that does that last bit of work for you that you've been struggling with, my darling Taurus. That's the kind of person I mean, that comes in to just help. It gives you support that is what you've needed this week, my darling Taurus, and it makes you feel good. It makes you feel that, you know, you can keep going, if that makes sense, my darling Taurus. So, you know, let me know in the comments. I would love to know if you know this person, or if you feel that if this is happening for you, because I sort of feel that, you know, this person, yeah, they're going to, and it could be a Libra. We've got Justice here, which is Libra energy. So, you know, let me know if it is a Libra that is coming in for you. But, you know, whether it's a love connection or it is just someone that helps you get to where you need to go this week, my darling Taurus. So, yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling here. And then, as I said, you've got the Justice card. So this is Libra energy. So, like I said, this person that's supporting you could be a Libra. If, you know, it's not a person for you, then this could just be, if you have Libra in your chart, my darling Taurus, go and watch the Libra reading, because it could have a message in there for you. So the Justice card is all about just that, justice. It could be receiving justice for, you know, if you're going through some kind of lawsuit, if you're going through some kind of like legal battle, or, you know, insurance claim, something where an outcome is needed, my darling Taurus. It could also just be karmic justice that you're receiving this week. You know, with that, see the big picture. You've got someone coming in to support you. You're being encouraged to keep, you know, to keep on going, to persevere. This could be at the end of that journey, your karmic justice comes for you, my darling Taurus. So, you know, whatever it is that you're working towards, my darling Taurus, I feel that you're going to get the justice that you deserve this week. And I feel that it could be coming in this week, but you are being asked to see the bigger picture. You are being asked to keep going. You know, if you give up 5 minutes before the miracle happens, you may not get this, my darling Taurus. So, you know, I'm going to get comments going, well, this didn't work for me, you know, blah, blah, blah. But did you give up? Did you give up 5 minutes before the miracle happens, my darling Taurus? So be honest with yourself and see what happens. So, but like I said, I also feel that if this is a person coming in, it could be a Libra, my darling Taurus. So, like, I've probably already put it together for you, but with this see the bigger picture, I just feel that you are being encouraged to not be narrow-minded and focused only on, you know, what's in front of you, that you can't see the bigger picture, my darling Taurus. Maybe don't be focused on what hasn't worked out here with, you know, this something that hasn't worked out 8 times. Don't be focused on what hasn't worked out, my darling Taurus. Be focused on what could be. You've got one last shot at it, so go for it. I do feel there could be someone coming in to support you that could give you that final boost that you need to get it moving. But, you know, take that how it resonates, whether it's a Libra, whether it's someone else, you know, or you've got Libra in your chart. Like I said, go watch that reading. But I feel that karmic justice will be restored, will be brought in for you. Balance will be brought in for you once you've just given it one last go, my darling Taurus. So, yeah, lovely energies coming in for you, my darling Taurus. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I am very active and interactive in the comments. So if you've got a view on this, or, you know, you want to say something about the reading, drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. I love to have a chat, so by all means, put it in the comments. And if you could please help my channel to thrive by subscribing, I would love it. All right, my darling Taurus, let's get final messages for you. Yeah, ask your angels. If you need guidance, ask for help. Maybe that's this Knight of Cups. Maybe they are your angel in disguise. You just don't know. Improving health, it'll be different for everyone. So, and look, I feel that, you know, having karmic justice being restored, you know, can only help your health, my darling Taurus. Here it comes. Here's the abundance, my darling Taurus. This is what I feel is your bigger picture. That's what you want to find, the abundance. This is what you want. That, you know, everybody wants, you know, to feel that they're in that abundant energy. Perfect timing, they say. Yeah. And you've got a yes. Love, love, love this for you, my darling Taurus. So, I mean, beautiful energies coming in. I do feel, you know, that there could be someone here, but the biggest message I got off this was don't give up 5 minutes before the miracle happens, my darling Taurus. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Geminis. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August the 11th, 2025. So, my darling Geminis, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Spirit Animal Oracle. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my tarot cards here, and then finish off with angel answer cards. All right, my darling Geminis, what messages does Gemini need to know for this week of the 11th of August? We are coming out of Mercury retro shadow, so the energies have been a lot more positive this week, which has been good. Turtle spirit, slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, and I think that's just, you know, that energy of coming out of Mercury retrograde is to don't rush into anything, my darling Geminis. Don't force any type of outcome, if that makes sense. I feel it's important that you take your time, do things well, and yes, don't rush. You know, slow and steady wins a race, as this card says, my darling Geminis. All right, let's consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Geminis. What does Gemini need to know for this week? Page of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, and the Five of Cups. Yeah, that Seven of Pentacles is giving me that slow and steady, wins the race type of vibes, that, contemplation type of energy. All right, my darling Geminis, just make sure they're all in view. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I will intuitively put the reading together for you. So you start off here with the beautiful Page of Wands. And if you've been watching me for a while, you know that pages in the tarot are messengers. And this little fella, he comes in to give you like a spark of hope, a spark of inspiration, a spark of an idea or something like that, my darling Gemini. So there could be some kind of, new idea that would come to you, in whether it be, a message that comes to you, whether you overhear a conversation, whether you get an email, an SMS, phone call, something like that. You can see here, he's holding the wand here and it's glowing. That's like the spark of inspiration, my darling Geminis. So yeah, take that how it resonates, but I do feel that there could be some kind of idea coming in for you that causes that, to go, ooh, I could do that. But with that slow and steady wins the race, I feel that it's important not to rush into anything. So if it is a beautiful new idea that you just want to run with, my darling Geminis, I would say just, wait. Don't rush in to anything right at this second. But you've got the seed there. And that makes sense here with the Seven of Pentacles as well. The Seven of Pentacles is all about, contemplation and, is what you've done worth it? Do you feel that what you have achieved has been worth it, my darling Geminis? I mean, you can see she's grown this beautiful, healthy bush of pentacles here. And it's time, you can see the look on her face is that contemplative energy. It's time for her to take this pentacle and decide where she's going to plant that next. And I feel that that's probably what that spark of inspiration is that, well, you've grown these pentacles, what's next for you, my darling Geminis? And I feel that is, you need to decide what is next for you. You need to decide, do you take that spark of inspiration and plant it somewhere else, or do you take that spark of inspiration and go this way or that way, if that makes sense, my darling Geminis? But I feel that, like I said, it's important for you not to rush into making that decision this week, my darling Geminis, just because of, that slow and steady wins a race. Yeah, and like I said, this Seven of Pentacles is that contemplative energy. It's not rushing. It is, was it worth it? Should I take this now? What should I do with this? Where should I go? Type of energy, my darling Geminis. And then you have the Five of Cups. So, this is probably the only fly in the ointment, if there is any, but the Five of Cups is, about disappointments and wallowing in disappointment, my darling Geminis. I feel for you that, you can see here that it's kind of like crying over spilt milk, my darling Geminis. You can see these three cups have turned over and she's, got her back to these other two full cups. If she could just turn around, she would see that she has two full cups here and that she has sprouted these beautiful butterfly wings, that she could transform this disappointment into opportunity, my darling Geminis. And I feel that that's what is happening here for you, that you are, something hasn't worked out for you. So you're feeling a bit bummed. You're feeling a bit bummed out, my darling Geminis. And what is dangerous about that energy is that it closes you off from being able to, you know, be grateful for what you do have. Because what's happening here is that she is sitting in disappointment. She is not grateful for the fact that she's still got 2 here. So it's all about that, getting into that attitude of gratitude, my darling Gemini, that you need to be able to, you know, turn misery into, you know, turn it around, turn that misery into opportunity, my darling Geminis. What can you do with this? Well, nothing, but learn from what's happened here, my darling Geminis. These are your lessons, and you've still got 2 more here. If you could just see that you have other opportunities, my darling Geminis, you know, you would be able to plant that seed. So I feel that that's, you know, this is, I feel, if I'm going to put it all together, I feel this is holding you back, my darling Geminis, that you're stuck in this disappointment type of energy, which doesn't serve you. Get out of it, my darling Geminis, and realize that you have the opportunity here to take what it is that you have got. Don't focus on what you don't have, but focus on what you do have. Take the opportunity and put it somewhere else. Realize that you can grow it elsewhere, but take your time. Don't rush, my darling Geminis. That's just sort of what I feel for you this week. So you need to get out of this wallowing in disappointment and focus on what you do have. Be in that attitude of gratitude, my darling Geminis. And yeah, I feel that you've got immense potential waiting here. If you can just get out of that, you know, disappointment energy with that 5 of Cups, my darling Geminis. All right, so if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I am very active and interactive in the comments. I'd love to know if this resonates. Drop me an emoji, something down below, just to let me know you're here, and maybe where you're from, where you're listening from. You know, like to know, you know, who my peeps are. So that'd be good. All right, and please subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get final messages for you. If you believe, yes, that is the 5 of Cups. If you believe something is possible, it is possible. Ask, believe, receive, my darling Geminis. Yeah, forgiveness. Forgive yourself for what hasn't worked out, my darling Geminis. You know, don't be in that wallowing energy. Forgive and forget, my darling Geminis. Big happy changes are coming in for you. Yes, they are, my darling Geminis. I feel it. I see it. I can see it here for you, my darling Geminis. You've got the potential of some really big happy changes if you can just get out of that wallowing energy. Not the right time, they say, and don't stop. Yeah. Look, it's not the right, it could not be the right time. That's why that slow and steady wins the race has come in, because you're just being told to take your time, that, you know, don't rush into anything. That's the whole message that I've got when I pulled that slow and steady wins the race card, my darling Geminis, is to not rush, but don't stop. I feel that, you know, you've got enormous potential coming in this week, but you just got to not stop, my darling Geminis. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Cancerians. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August 11th, 2025. So, my darling Cancerians, we're just going to jump right in, start off with an overarching energy using the Spirit Animal Oracle. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight Tarot cards, and then we will finish off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Cancerians, what messages does Cancer need to know for this week of the 11th of August? Well, the energies around this week have been so much more positive. Dear Spirit, bring a gentle touch. Yeah. And that's kind of been the theme for this week is, you know, gentle. The energies have been a lot more gentle this week. There has been, you know, a lot more flow type of energy. And we are in the last week of Mercury retro shadow. By the end of this week, we'll have left the retro shadow behind. So that's what I feel, that you can really tell within all these readings that I've done, they've all been really positive and they've all been, you know, like gentle type of energy. So, and you're no exception, my darling Cancerians. So you're being encouraged and asked this week just to bring a gentle touch to your week. So let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Cancerians. What does Cancer need to know? Knight of Cups, the Two of Swords, and the Moon. Alrighty. I think that's your... Oh no, that's Pisces. Or my darling, excuse me, my darling Cancerians, I will give you the meaning of each of the cards and then I will intuitively put the reading together. So you start off here with the Knight of Cups. So the Knight of Cups is that card of almost like a knight in shining armor, like a, I feel that, you know, you're going to have someone come in to maybe support you this week, my darling Cancerians, you know. So take that how it resonates, whether it be, you know, it could be a partner, it could be, you know, a friend, a work colleague, you know, a family member, something like that. But I do feel that you're going to have some support this week in whatever you do, my darling Cancerians, which is beautiful. You know, we could all do with a little bit of love and support. So it's that kind of heart, you know, comes in to give you, you know, some heart help, I suppose, some emotional support, if that makes sense, my darling Cancerians. That's what I feel. I feel it's definitely coming from the heart here. I don't feel that it's love so much, but I mean, love is always open to us. So, you know, take that how it resonates. It could be to do with a love relationship, but yeah, I'm not kind of feeling too much love here, but I just feel that it's someone coming in to support you this week with whatever it is that you're doing. And it could be that, you know, I've got the Two of Swords here, and the Two of Swords is all about, you know, making a decision. You know, which way do you go? You know, you've got the Two Swords here. It's, you know, you can either make this decision or that decision. And blindfolds in the tarot represent, you know, having to trust your intuition, going within, you know, trusting that whatever decision you make comes from within, my darling Cancerians. But, you know, the thing with the Two of Swords is that we don't just have to make this decision or that decision. Like, we can choose, you know, whatever we want. And, you know, the blindfolds can also represent not wanting to see as well. But I feel here that this is more you needing to trust your intuition as to what decision you make. And I do feel that that Knight of Cups, that support person, will support whatever decision it is that you make, my darling Cancerians. That's kind of what I feel here. But I do feel, too, that what's holding you back from making that decision is the Moon card. Because, and I'll get to that in a minute, but, you know, the Moon casts shadows, and the Moon, you know, is what we don't see. And I feel that you may be hesitant to make a decision because you feel or you know that you don't know everything, or that you can't see everything, my darling Cancerian. So yeah, like I said, take that how it resonates. But said you got the moon card here, and like I said, the moon represents what is hidden in the shadows. But it is a temporary energy. The moon goes up, the moon comes down, the sun comes up. So, you know, when we have a full moon, it illuminates what, you know, what is there, but it also hides what is in the shadows. It also, you know, it does illuminate the sky, but it also casts shadows on aspects of ourselves and aspects of other people that we cannot see. People, places, things, whatever, that we cannot see. So what I feel for you this week is that is what you're having a hard time making that decision, because you feel you don't know everything and that you can't see everything. And I believe that's true. But this person, Knight of Cups, is coming in to support you in that, whatever decision that is. And sometimes we don't need to know everything, my darling Cancerian. Sometimes, you know, we can just, like I said, that whole blindfold on the Two of Cups is to trust your intuition, to trust, you know, how does it feel if you make this decision? How does it feel if you make that decision? You know, sometimes we can never actually know the outcome of a decision that we make. You just can't. You just have to go on blind faith. It's the Two of Swords. Blind faith. Go on what you feel is the right move for you. And be aware that there may be things that are hidden from you, but the sun will come up and they will be illuminated in good time, my darling Cancerians. And, you know, with this bring a gentle touch, I just feel that you don't need to, you know, be aggressively going forward here, if that makes sense. I feel that the gentle, if you make the decision out of love and you make the decision from your heart, you will not go wrong, my darling Cancerian. So I hope that makes sense, but that's what I feel. And this person here will support you with that decision and will actually encourage you, which will make you feel that you're making the right decision here, my darling Cancerian. So yeah, that's really what I'm getting for you this week, my darling Cancerian. It's a pretty straightforward message. I don't feel that I need to, you know, go too much more into it. I love the fact that someone's coming there to support you, my darling Cancerian. So you'll have, you know, maybe a sounding board or something like that. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I am very active and interactive in the comments, as you would know if you've been watching me for a while. So just drop me an emoji. Let me know if this resonates with you. You know, want to have a chat, put it in the comments. Don't mind at all. And please help my channel to thrive by subscribing. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Cancerians. Yes, it is up to you, my darling Cancerians. That's the whole thing. Trust. Make the decision from your heart. But ultimately, it is up to you, my darling Cancerians. You need some help. Meditation brings answers. Go within, you know, do some kind of meditation to maybe help clear your mind so you can make the right decision. Yeah. Improving health, well, that's just a byproduct of, you know, maybe making a decision that's been weighing on your mind, my darling Cancerian. Sometimes it can, you know, make you feel bad. A year from now, they say, you will choose a new direction. Yeah? So don't freak out that, oh, it's a year from now. But I think what I feel off this is a year from now, you will realise that the decision that you made, you know, was the right decision for you, is what I feel here with, you know, what's coming in for you, my darling Cancerians. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Leos. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome welcome to your reading for the week of August the 11th, 2025. If it is your birthday this week, my darling Leos, a big mwah, happy birthday from me to you. So let us get into your reading. So we're going to start off here with an overarching energy using the Spirit Animal Oracle. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my tarot cards here, and then finishing off with angel answer cards. All right, my darling Leos, what does Leo need to know for this week of the 11th of August, 2025? What messages does Leo need to know? We are coming out of Mercury retro shadow this week, so as Aries just got, life is speeding up, so I'd be watching out for that, because I feel that everything will be on forward momentum this week, my darling Leos. What have you got here? Ooh, Rabbit Spirit. Now is a lucky time. Love, love it. Love, love. Now is a lucky time. And I do feel that. I feel this part, once we've got past the Mercury retrograde, this next, especially August, moving into September, I feel will be a very lucky time. I feel that most of the heavy energies that we've been encountering, that with all the retrogrades and things like that, I feel that that energy will subside, and I feel that we'll be moving into a much lighter time, my darling Leos, which is good. So I love that for you. Now is a lucky time. All right. Oops. So let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Leos. What does Leo need to know for this week of the 11th? All right, Justice, love it. And the High Priestess. And the Knight of Pentacles, yeah, right. Wow. I mean, if we can look at the imagery here, I can see the 2 pillars of justice here and the 2 pillars of the High Priestess. Very similar type of imagery here. So, I feel that these are connected. But what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together. So you start off here with the beautiful Justice card. Now, this is Libra energy, so if you have Libra in your chart, I would encourage you to go and watch the Libra reading. But you can see the Justice card, she stands here righteous, she's got her sword down and the scales of balance. So the Justice card is all about receiving some kind of justice, receiving, so if you've been waiting on, an outcome of, some kind of compensation, some kind of lawsuit, custody type of thing, anything where that has the implication to be in your favor, I feel will happen for you this week, my darling Leos. And with that card, like it's a luck now, now is a lucky time. I feel that, your luck has turned. But I don't feel that this, is just that it's that, feeling of it's just come to you. I feel that you've worked for this, my darling Leo. So don't let that take that away from you. I don't feel that this is just, come to you out of the blue. I feel that you have worked for this, that you've wanted this, that you have manifested this, my darling Leos. And you can see on the imagery on the card, she is righteous. So, arms up, and, she holds the scales of balance. So I feel for you that you'll feel that balance will be restored in your life, my darling Leos, that you feel that, things can finally move forward for you, which is lovely. Beautiful energy. And then you have the High Priestess here. So, the High Priestess is all about trusting your intuition, my darling Leos. And as I said, I was very drawn to the 2 pillars on that are the same as the 2 pillars of justice. That, you can see that there is no roof over her head, At the time the tarot was done, these are pomegranates. And at the time of the tarot, pomegranates were considered very, very lucky, my darling Leos. So, you know, the High Priestess is all about, like I said, trusting your intuition here. So it is important, and I feel that you would do you well, my darling Leos, to trust your intuition, trust your inner ding, as Louise Hay used to say. She would say that if she got a call and, you know, about doing a seminar or doing, you know, speaking or something like that, that she would, if it filled her with joy and it made her feel excited, that would be her inner ding, and she would trust that. So she would feel that that was giving her the green light. If she felt that feeling of dread in it, that, oh, she didn't really want to do it and it didn't make her feel good and it was too hard, then often she would trust that feeling, that it wasn't for her, that it wasn't the best, you know, wasn't the best course of action for her to take at this time, my darling Leo. So I feel for you that trusting your feelings and trusting that inner ding, as I said, Louise Hay, will benefit you this week, my darling Leos. But I do feel like it's with this now is a lucky time. I feel that you will know the difference between what feels good and what doesn't, my darling Leos, which, you know, that is beautiful for you. So I feel that, yeah, trusting your intuition is, you know, would benefit you this week for sure. And then you have the Knight of Pentacles here. So the Knight of Pentacles, he's the only knight in the tarot that isn't moving. You know, you can see he holds this giant pentacle. The horse, you know, seems to be wanting to go somewhere, but the fields behind him are empty. So the card of the meaning of the Knight of Pentacles is that you need to get moving, my darling Leos. As I said, you know, with that card, now is a lucky time. I feel that you need this. This is your chance here, my darling Leos. This is your seed. You need to plant this seed in this field behind you. You need to take what you're getting from the universe, whatever you're downloading from the universe, whether that's an idea or, you know, whether it's the outcome of justice, whatever that is for you, you need to now plant this seed for future prosperity, my darling Leos. That's what I feel that is the purpose of this week for you. Whereas you got that now is a lucky time card, I feel that now is the time for you to plant this seed for future, like I said, for future prosperity. So this will grow and allow you the luck, allow you the, you know, but it's not, I mean, luck luck has two sort of sides to it, I feel. I don't feel we get something just for nothing, my darling Leos. I feel that it's an exchange of energy. So if you plant this seed, which is the giving of the energy, then you will receive, which is, it comes in the form of, oh, this was very lucky that I did this, but it's not really, because you planted that seed. You put the energy out there, my darling Leos, if that makes sense. So I feel that luck is an exchange of energy. And you may not, why people sort of feel that it's, oh, super lucky is because they don't realize that they've put the energy in to start off with. You know, with the whole Justice card, the High Priestess card, you've put that energy in. And now it's time to plant this seed and receive the reward, my darling Leo. So, like, I've put it all together already, I know I have, but I just feel you're being encouraged, as I said, to plant this seed, and I feel that it will result in, you know, justice for you, some kind of, you know, karmic justice coming in for you, where balance is restored, my darling Leos. You know, and I feel that trusting your intuition is going to be very important for you this week, my darling Leos. All right. So, I mean, if it's your birthday week this week, yay. Sounds like things are going to propel you forward, move forward. Lucky time. You might get something very special for your birthday, and I hope that's true. All right. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I am very active and interactive in the comments. So, you know, I'd love to know if this resonates. Just drop me an emoji even just to let me know I'm on the right track. And you could please subscribe. Would be great. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Leos. Improving health. Yeah. Well, that'll just be a byproduct of trusting your intuition, you know, listening to your body, all that kind of good stuff. Here it comes. There's your lucky time. Abundance is coming in for you, my darling Leos. Yeah, can't make this up. Listen to your intuition. High Priestess, right here, my darling Leos. This is the universe saying, I meant what I said. So, yes, trust your intuition. Within the next few months, they say, there's something better. Yes, there is, my darling Leos. I feel that so much for you. You can see with this beautiful energy that you have on the table here, I just feel definitely, as it says, that now is a very lucky time for you, my darling Leos. Thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Virgos. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August 11th, 2025. So, my darling Virgos, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the using the Spirit Animal Oracle. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight Tarot cards, and then we will finish off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Virgos, what messages does Virgo need to know for the week of August 11th, 2025? Been a lot lighter energies this week. We are coming out of Mercury retrograde, or the shadow at least. We're out of Mercury retrograde this week, but there's still the shadow hanging around. Ooh, the abundant universe will provide. Buffalo spirit, love it. The abundant universe will provide. Like I said, the energies around this week are a lot lighter. Like I said, we're coming out of that retro shadow. So I do feel, and I kind of feel this anyway, I mean, the last few months, we've had good energies, bad energies. It's been quite harsh. It's been very heavy, is what I would say. But I'm feeling with August and September, I feel the energies are going to be a lot lighter for everyone, my darling Virgos. And I'm feeling that, like, if I'm feeling when I'm doing a reading, I feel excited and, you know, optimistic about the timing, then it makes me feel the energy is going to be a lot lighter. And to get this, my darling Virgos, makes me feel great that this is the energy that's surrounding us this week. And I say us because I'm a Virgo. So the abundant universe will provide. Let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for my fellow Virgos for this week of August the 11th, 2025. It's nearly my birthday week, just FYI. Let's see what messages we've got coming in. Right. 9 of Pentacles. There's the abundant universe. Gratitude and luxuries. Wow, justice. Now, justice has come up a lot in these readings already. So, and the 4 of Cups. So there's a lot of what I feel around, as I said, I feel like very optimistic and things like that, but I feel there's a lot of karmic justice coming in. A lot of, you know, what we've worked hard for is finally going to pay off, my darling Virgos, because that's what I've been feeling off the justice energy that's been coming in, is that, you know, that karmic balance, that karmic rewards type of energy. So yeah, love it. All right, my darling Virgos, what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I will intuitively put the reading together. So you start off here with the beautiful 9 of Pentacles. This is almost the universe saying, I meant what I said, with the abundant universe will provide, because the 9 of Pentacles is all about abundance. It is about gratitude and luxuries. It is a card of always, you know, feeling that you have enough, that independent wealth and abundance, my darling Virgos. You can see here she has 3 pentacles here and 6 over here. She is happy to give away these 3 pentacles here because she always has 6 for herself. So it's that card of being able to give, knowing that you have enough, my darling Virgos, which is a beautiful energy. And I'm also drawn here to see the bird on this card as well. Sorry, I'll bring it over to here. And she's focused on that bird. It's the card of focus as well. So and funnily enough, the Four of Cups is also a card of focus, but the Four of Cups is a card of misguided focus. So anyway, I will get to that. But I feel for us that it is important to be focused on our goals, wishes, and dreams. Be focused on the outcome, not what's in. It's hard to sort of get this into words what I mean, but not be focused on what's in front of us, but be focused on our outcome, what it is that we, I can't even spit it out. I can see it in my head, and I can see the words in my head, but for some reason it's not. I'm senile, and it's I'm old. No. I can see the word. It's like be focused on the end goal. That's the word I was looking on. Be focused on our I mean, people say don't be focused. It's not about the destination. It's about the journey, and I do agree with that. But I feel that in this instance, we're being encouraged to focus on where we want to end up, my darling Virgos, if that makes sense. To be focused not so much on what's in front and what hasn't worked out and, the obstacles. That's the word. To not be focused, my darling Virgos, on the obstacles, but be focused on where we want to end up, if that makes sense. So that's kind of what I'm getting off the Nine of Pentacles and this Four of Cups here, because that's kind of what that Four of Cups is all about. But I'll get to that in a minute. So then we have, as I was saying, the Justice card. And like I said, this has come up quite a bit in these readings this week. So I feel that now that we'll be coming out of that retro shadow, and then it'll feel that there's a rush of karmic justice. That's what I'm feeling off this Justice card. This is also Libra energy as well. So, the Justice card, if you've got Libra in your chart, go and watch the Libra reading, because there could be a message there for you as well. But what I'm getting off the Justice card for us, my darling Virgos, is that I just feel that karmic rewards will come. Karmic balance will be restored, is what I feel. Because you can see here the scales of balance here, and her arms up. She is righteous. So I feel that that's a message for us that we need to take into consideration, that even though, and look, Virgos are humble people, I'd like to think, but even though we have won something, be humble, my darling Virgos. And I'm not sure why that popped into my head, but it did. It'll be, it could be significant for someone to, if we have a win, if this is a win for someone out there, then be humble, be grateful, but be humble in that win, my darling Virgos. Don't rub it in, I guess. Don't rub in somebody else's loss because we've won, my darling Virgos. And I don't know why that's popped into my head, because I don't ever say that off the Justice card. But that's the message that's come in, so it could be significant for someone. But I just feel that balance will be restored this week. I feel that karmic justice will be coming in for us. It's like, the last few weeks, because of maybe Mercury retrograde, or the last month, things have been, giving us a little bit but taking it away, and then giving us a little bit and then taking it away. But I feel this week, the abundant universe will provide, which I'm loving. All right, let's move on to the Four of Cups. So as I was saying, with that focus off the Nine of Cups here, that the same can be said about the Four of Cups. You can see that she's really focused on these cups here. I mean, the Four of Cups is a card of apathy and boredom, and being, I guess, closed off from opportunities because something hasn't worked out 3 times here. And the message of the Four of Cups is to be aware, to be open to receive, my darling Virgos. So you can see her gaze is really she's really focused on those cups, and the story is that she's focused on these because it's what hasn't worked out for her. So something hasn't worked out 3 times, and she's feeling closed off from that. She's feeling, in the traditional tarot, the person's arms are, they're closed across their chest. It's a sign of being closed off. So, and what they can't see is this other opportunity that's here, that's coming in, that, there's a gift from the universe coming in. It could be the missing piece of the puzzle that you've been wanting. The missing piece that just because something hasn't worked out 3 times doesn't mean, you need to throw out the baby with the bathwater type of thing. So, just with what else is on the table here, I just feel, like I said to you, focus. It was on the Nine of Pentacles there. Focus is going to be important for you. But don't be so focused on the negative, my darling Virgos. You're being encouraged to focus on what could be, not what has been, if that makes sense, my darling Virgos. So if I'm going to put it all together, and I probably already have, but I just feel that this is going to be a week where karmic balance is restored, where karmic justice is restored, and we are going to feel abundant, and we're going to feel independently abundant, that we've created something ourselves, and that we feel that the universe will provide, my darling Virgos, which is a beautiful energy to be in. I mean, the Nine of Pentacles is also pre-Empress energy as well, so just take that into consideration. But yeah, definitely a time of gratitude, of luxuries. Be grateful for what we do have, and focus on what could be, not what has been and hasn't worked out, my darling Virgos. So yeah, beautiful energies coming in for us this week, my darling Virgos. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I'm very active and interactive in the comments. I love to have a chat. So if you want to put something in the comments about this reading, don't mind at all. If you can see something different that I can't, then yeah, let's start a dialogue. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Virgos. Ask your angels. Ask, believe, receive, my darling Virgos. Remain positive. Yeah, don't let that negative energy or the negative focus of the Four of Cups to stop your manifestation, my darling Virgos. Yeah, here it comes. There is success. Love, love, love this for us, my darling Virgos. That is that abundant universe will, oh, excuse me, my voice went, will provide. Wait, they say. Yeah, and I feel that wait could be just, don't let that negative come in, my darling Virgos. Yeah, wait, because you need to reconsider. So take that how it resonates. What I kind of feel off here is that if we're in that negative, mindset with this Four of Cups, that's why we need to wait to reconsider, because I feel that going ahead when you're in that negative mind space is, not going to work out for you at all, my darling Virgos. So, we have some beautiful potential energies coming in this week, my darling Virgos. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Librans. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August 11th, 2025. So, my darling Librans, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Spirit Animal Oracle. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight Tarot cards, and then we will finish off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Librans, what messages does Libra need to know for this week of August 11th, 2025? Now, we are coming out of Mercury retro shadow this week, so, I mean, the readings that I've done so far have been quite positive, which is good. Let's see what's coming in for you. Time for a deep dive, my darling Librans. So, with the Swan Spirit here. So there could be something that you're being encouraged to dive into, my darling Librans, whether that's work, whether that's a project, whether it's, a personal project, whether it's, something to do with your home, your family, work. Take that how it resonates. But there could be something, maybe it's your own self, my darling Librans. It could be that you're being encouraged to take a bit of a deep dive into your own emotions. So we shall consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you, my darling Librans. What messages does Libra need to know for this week of August 11th, 2025? My Priestess. You show up. Now, you have shown up in a lot of readings this week, my darling Librans. So, yeah, I'm not surprised to see that at all. And I was going to say it actually when I was shuffling those cards. I felt the need to say to you how many times you've shown up in other people's readings, and now you've shown up in your own. So, yeah, I like I said, and I feel that this week there's been so much more positive turnaround of energy, and for you to show up and for it to be, that I feel that there is just a karmic turnaround in energy this week, my darling Librans. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together for you. So you start off here with the beautiful High Priestess. And as I said, with that Swan Spirit, that time for a deep dive, there could be that, it's time for you to take a real dive within yourself. I think that's what I said. The last of the message that I got was going within and taking a deep dive into your own emotions here, my darling Librans. That's really what I feel. I feel this reading is all about you and yourself and your emotions and what's happening within yourself, my darling Librans. So, yeah, I feel this is all about you. The High Priestess comes in to say, trust your intuition, but it is also a card of infinite possibilities. You can see she's got no roof over her head here. At the time of the tarot, you can see the pomegranates here. Pomegranates were classified as, something that was hard to grow, an abundant, pomegranates were considered lucky and abundant, my darling Librans. And, pomegranates appear on the Fool's Cloak as well, and they also appear in a couple of other fabrics as well in the tarot. So, they're classified as something that brings abundance and, that brings, prosperity, my darling Librans. But I felt it as soon as I pulled that Swan Spirit card, was I feel that this reading is all about you, all about how you're feeling inside. I feel that this week you are being encouraged to go within. Take time out from whatever is going on in your world, my darling Librans, and take a real deep dive into yourself, your own emotions, what's happening with you, how are you feeling about you? How are you feeling about life, my darling Librans? That's the message I'm getting really clearly this week for you, without even looking at the rest of the card, going into the rest of the cards. I just feel everything's about you, because here you are, you show up, my darling Librans. And when you show up in your own reading, you come from a place of power and strength, and it allows you to get what you want from the reading, my darling Librans. And as I said, this is really all about you this week. I feel that you are here presenting as yourself. I feel that you've been working on yourself, or that you will work on yourself this week. Go within, take the time, give yourself the love and the support that you give others, my darling Librans. It's time to spend time with you, to restore this karmic balance within yourself, my darling Librans. So, I mean, it's a really clear message for me. I can drag it out, but I don't really want to, because I feel that will just, confuse you probably. But yeah, the whole reading's about you, and that it's time for you to go, like I said, within. Work out what makes you happy, my darling Librans. What makes you happy? What brings you joy? What makes you sad? What makes you feel uncomfortable? And do less of that. But what brings you joy? What makes you happy? Do more of that, my darling Librans. That's kind of what I'm getting for you, feeling for you this week. And with this Four of Cups here, so the Four of Cups is all about, apathy and boredom and, being closed off. In the traditional tarot, the person that's sitting, on the grass here or on the ground or where on the hill, they've got their arms crossed across their chest, which, it symbolises being closed off, my darling Librans. And, what they are is so focused on what hasn't been working for them that they can't see that there is a new opportunity here. So, my encouragement for you is to not be focused just on the bad parts of yourself, I guess, if that makes sense. Don't be focused on, maybe what people have told you about yourself. Don't be focused on the negative, my darling Librans, because you have more than enough positive in you to bring that to the surface, bring that to the light. Release the negativity, my darling Librans. Don't be focused on what hasn't worked out. Realize that there's this opportunity here to allow you to love yourself more and go within more and, not listen to the naysayers and, those people that, say you can't do something, my darling Librans. I mean, this is, like I said, this is just a real time for you to love you, my darling Librans. That's really what I feel. The whole reading is about you. And yeah, that's it. I can't really get any more out of that. I think I've made it pretty clear that how I feel that this reading is all about you, my darling Librans. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. Drop me a comment. I'd love to know if this resonates with you and what you think. Leave me some scales of balance if you feel that it's time for you to focus on you, my darling Librans. And if please help my channel to thrive by subscribing. I would really love that. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Librans. Yeah, let go. What was I saying? Let go of the negativity. Let go of what no longer serves you, my darling Librans. Let go and let it flow. Yeah, get more information. And that's what that Four of Cups is. Get more information on, what you want, not what somebody else wants you to be, my darling Librans. Go within, get more information from within. What do you want, my darling Librans? Yeah, can't make this up. Peaceful resolution, my darling Librans. Yes, that is what I was saying. That whole was a karmic justice. That whole piece is coming back to you, my darling Librans. In the near future, they say, yeah, you'll choose a new direction. And that new direction, I hope, my darling Librans, will be you focusing on you. Focusing on how wonderful you are, my darling Librans, and not letting any of these naysayers hold you back, because, you know, you have so much to give, my darling Librans. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Scorpios. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August 11th, 2025. So, my darling Scorpios, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Spirit Animal Oracle. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight Tarot cards, and then finishing off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Scorpios, what does Scorpio need to know for this week of August 11th, 2025? Been some very positive energy around this week. We're in the last of Mercury retro shadow this week, so we'll come out of that, and I feel that that's why the energy has been a lot more positive. A lot of moving forward type of energy, which is lovely. All right, what have we got? Crow Spirit, co-create with Spirit. Yeah, wow. Beautiful. I don't think I've ever had this one come up before. So for you, my darling Scorpios, it feels that, you know, you're being encouraged to, you know, there's been a lot of co-create type of energy around where, you know, you co-create with Spirit here. You're being asked to, you know, co-create with the universe, my darling Scorpios, to, you know, really be in tune with your higher self, with your whoever it is that your guides are, your angels, your whoever it is that's around you. I feel that you're being encouraged to really have a dialogue with them this week. That, you know, that you could be co-creating some magic this week with you know, Spirit, my darling Scorpios. No, I said Cancer. All right, my darling Scorpios, let us see what messages we've got coming in for you this week. What does Scorpio need to know for August 11th, 2025? What does Scorpio need to know? Five of Cups. Five of Cups has come out quite a lot this week. King of Wands. And the Seven of Pentacles. All right. So, my darling Scorpios, what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I will intuitively put the reading together. So you start off here with the Five of Cups. And like I said, this energy has come up quite a lot this week. And it could be that we're being encouraged, or, you know, whoever these have come up for this week, are being encouraged to leave behind disappointments, past disappointments, leave behind, you know, what doesn't serve you, leave behind what isn't, you know, working for you. You know, you can see here on the card, she's got this three cups here that have spilt over, and she's just focusing on those. If she could just turn around, she would see that there's 2 full cups here, and that she sprouted these beautiful butterfly wings, my darling Scorpios. So, you know, and it represents not crying over spilt milk here. That, you know, not on the traditional tarot, which I still think there's the water there, which you can see sort of in the background, but the figure is standing next to the river. They can see that the cups have spilt over, and their face, their head is down. They're looking, you know, quite disappointed. They call it the River of Tears because it's like they're just constantly in that wallowing. They're not bringing themselves out of the disappointment energy. They're so focused on what, you know, hasn't worked out, that they can't see behind them that they've still got 2 other opportunities here that they're not seeing. So what I feel for you, my darling Scorpios, is that you need to, this week, if you haven't been doing it, put behind you what hasn't worked out. start focusing on what you are grateful for. Get yourself into that attitude of gratitude, my darling Scorpios. Be grateful for what you do have. Be grateful for what is working out for you. That's very, I know when you're feeling that everything hasn't worked out and that you're feeling disappointed with life and things like that even when you're disappointed with a person, it's very hard to bring yourself out of that energy. But all we need to do is focus on one thing. Start being grateful for one thing. Be grateful I woke up this morning. Be grateful for I have food in my fridge. Be grateful for I had a bed to sleep in. Be grateful for I'm grateful for I had a roof over my head. When you start finding things to be grateful for, you will get more. You will find and get more things to be grateful for, my darling Scorpios. So I just feel that you just need to release that energy of feeling that you're disappointed with something or someone, my darling Scorpios, and embody the energy of this beautiful King of Wands. And I feel that you will this week. I feel that you are going to release that Five of Cups energy. You're going to release that negative thinking and really embrace the energy of the King of Wands. The King of Wands, he's bold, he's assertive, he takes action. You can see he takes this horse by the reins and gets moving. He holds the Ace of Wands. He is moving towards where he needs to go, my darling Scorpios. He is moving forward. He is not fussed about what happened in the past. He is taking the horse by the reins and taking action, my darling Scorpios. And I feel that's what you need to do this week. And I feel you are embodying this energy. There's no gender in the tarot, so male or female, it's just the energy of the card. And the energy of the King of Wands is that bold, assertive action. And I feel that's what you need to take. Co-create with spirit. Push forward with what it is you want. Like I said, be assertive here. Push forward with your ideas. Push forward with what it is that you want and to achieve, my darling Scorpios. And I feel you will this week. Even though I can see that you've got that energy of sorry, my things just sort of moved off. There we go. You've got this contemplative energy here, but I feel that, that's, I feel that that's where you're sort of stuck at the moment, as well as sort of in this energy. Don't get into this analysis paralysis type of energy. So the Seven of Pentacles is all about, like I said, contemplative energy. It's about, she's produced this beautiful, bush of pentacles, but she's wondering, was it worth it? Well, okay, I've done this, now what? That's the energy of the Seven of Pentacles, is where do I go from here? And what I feel for you is you need to take this pentacle, the biggest one that's here, and plant it somewhere else, my darling Scorpios. Like I said, take the action of the King of Wands and move towards where it is you want to go. That King of Wands, he's bold, he's assertive, he takes action. Take the action. Don't get stuck in this analysis paralysis. Where do I go? What do I do? Where am I going to put it? Just take it and plant it somewhere else. Make a move. Co-create with spirit. Move forward. Be assertive, my darling Scorpios. Don't allow past disappointments to hold you back, my darling Scorpios. That's just what I'm getting for you this week is, move forward. Like I said, release what hasn't worked out. Don't allow past disappointments to hold you back. Take action. Move forward with what it is. Whatever goal, wish or dream it is that you want, move forward with that, because you've got the cards here telling you you can do it. co-create with spirit. You're even being encouraged here. So, yeah, don't allow this past disappointments, my darling Scorpios, to hold you back at all. That's what I'm feeling for you this week. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I am very active and interactive in the comments, so please drop me an emoji, comment, let me know if this resonates with you, because you know, I'd love to know. I'm quite chatty, so I do like to know if you feel that it resonates with you. And if you don't, fine, tell me. You know, if you see something different here, drop it in the comments. I do not mind at all. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Scorpios. Ha! What did I say? Abundance. Here it comes for you. Take that bold, assertive action, my darling Scorpios. Yeah, there'll be a peaceful resolution. I feel that peaceful resolution is going to be with yourself, to realize, be at peace with the disappointments, my darling Scorpios, and just move forward. No need to worry, they say. No, there is no need to worry. You have got everything you need, plus you have spirit on your side, my darling Scorpios. I can see it here. I can see it here. You know, you don't no need to worry at all. Not the right time, they say. Reconsider. Yeah, and look, whatever popped into your head when that card came up is what, you know, is not the right time. I honestly feel it's not the right time for, you know, it's not the right time to, you know, move forward if you're still stuck in this energy, because it won't produce anything if you are still stuck in this energy. You will need to reconsider how you feel in order for you to be able to move forward, my darling Scorpios. That's just what I feel is coming in for you this week. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Sagittarians. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August 11th, 2025. So, my darling Sagittarians, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Spirit Animal Oracle cards. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight Tarot cards, and then finish off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Sagittarians, what does Sagittarius need to know for the week of 11th? No, I said the 4th. The 11th of August, 2025. Take time out. Brown Bear Spirit, yeah. So, my darling Sagittarians, this could be a week for you to slow down, to take some time. I mean, we are coming out of Mercury retro shadow, so, you know, if you've been sort of busy the last few weeks and things, it may be a time this week just to take some time for yourself, to slow down, regroup, rethink, and just enjoy the week. You know, not try too hard to accomplish too much, but just go with the flow, my darling Sagittarians. I feel that's kind of the energy that we have. I mean, the few readings that I've done already, they've been a lot more positive this week. So I feel that we are coming out of that sort of heavy type of energy that we've experienced with, you know, the last few months that has been quite heavy. I do feel, especially this month and September, I feel they're going to be a lot lighter. I feel that the energy is going to be a lot lighter, I feel. So, yeah, all right. So, but you're definitely being encouraged to take some time out this week, my darling Sagittarians. All right, let us consult the tarot here and see what messages we've got coming in for you. What does Sagittarius need to know for this week of the 11th of August, 2025? Queen of Cups, 6 of Pentacles, and King of Swords. Ooh, love it. All right, my darling Sagittarians. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together. So you start off here with the Queen of Cups. And the Queen of Cups is all about following her heart. So she is a very heart-based energy. She knows what she wants, and she's very emotionally stable. So she, in every situation, she follows her heart, my darling Sagittarius. So I feel that that's what, the message for you this week is to follow your heart. Whatever comes up for you this week, follow your heart. Whatever your heart tells you does it feel good? If it feels good, it can only be good for you. But if it doesn't feel good, if it feels that you are, if it puts a pit in your stomach, then I would be saying it's not good for you, my darling Sagittarians. And what I'm drawn to here is you can see how she's quite focused on this cup here. So I feel that maybe, focusing on yourself this week, my darling Sagittarians, would be good for you. With that, take time out. I feel that it's time that you focused on yourself, my darling Sagittarians, because I do feel that you have given a lot of yourself over the last, weeks, months, whatever. And I feel that you're being encouraged this week to, focus on yourself and follow your heart with this Queen of Cups, my darling Sagittarians. And then you've got the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is all about reciprocity. It's about giving and receiving. You can see on the card here the scales of balance. So, it is a card of restoring balance. And I feel that is you this week. You're in that feeling of wanting to balance your energies, or you're needing to balance your energies this week, my darling Sagittarians. As I said, it's a card of reciprocity. Have you been giving too much? Have you been taking too much? It's time now, well, especially this week, to balance that out, to equal give and take. Whatever you give out will come back to you, my darling Sagittarians. But sometimes we can get caught in, needing to take more than we give. And that sometimes we need to do that. Sometimes we can, it's necessary to take more than we give. But we do need to balance that out after a time, my darling Sagittarians. And I do feel that that's this week you're being encouraged to do just that. Balance your energies with, you can see, like I said, the scales of balance. Bring it into equal give and take this week, my darling Sagittarians, and take some time for yourself. So like I said, if you've been giving and giving and giving, that's going to burn you out, my darling Sagittarians. So it is time for you to take back and to receive, my darling Sagittarians. That's what I feel here off that Six of Pentacles. And then you've got the King of Swords here. I feel with the King of Swords that this is you, my darling Sagittarians. I feel that you're presenting this week as the King of Swords in that energy of feeling that you have you have all the knowledge and wisdom that you need, my darling Sagittarians, that you're feeling comfortable. I mean, you can see the way he's sitting on that throne. He is confident. He's comfortable. He is not, and look, this male or female, there's no gender in the tarot. This is just the energy of the card I'm talking about. So I feel that you need to embody this energy this week, my darling Sagittarians, of that King of Swords, where, this is the Ace of Swords he holds here. He has the knowledge and wisdom, everything that he needs in order to move forward, in order to make the right decisions, in order to be who he needs to be, or, they need to be. That's the message of this King of Swords, my darling. And I feel that Sagittarians, and I feel that is you. You're embodying this energy this week. And it will allow you to take that time out that you need as well, because you will feel that you do have all the knowledge and wisdom that you need, that you have everything that you need so you can take some time for yourself, my darling Sagittarians. That's what I'm getting for you off the King of Swords. So if I'm going to put it all together, I feel, like I said, that it's important for you, A, to take time out. We can see that as the whole overarching energy. But I feel that it's important for you to open your heart, follow your heart, restore balance to your life. So, like I said, if you were giving too much, and I do probably feel that that was you, then it's time to balance those energies out by allowing you to take that energy. So take something back, my darling Sagittarians. That's just what I'm getting with the balance here, that you're just being encouraged to balance your energies. And like I said, you presenting here as the King of Swords just allows you to feel that you have that knowledge and wisdom, that you have everything that you need, that you can sit like he sits in, like, comfortable sitting on that throne, comfortable in the knowledge that it's okay for you to take some time for yourself this week, my darling Sagittarians. That's really what I feel is coming in for you. Pretty straightforward message, my darling Sagittarians, what I feel this week. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I am very active and interactive in the comments. I love to have a chat, so if you've got something to say about this reading, drop it in the comments. I do not mind at all. Love to open a dialogue. If you see something different that I can't, put it in the comments. Love to have a chat. And please help my channel to thrive by subscribing. All right, let's get some final messages for you. Yeah, helpful people. So allow helpful people to come in for you this week, my darling Sagittarians. If someone coming in and saying, I want to help you, allow that, because you're being encouraged to take back, take help, because you've obviously been giving a lot. What's coming in? Success. Love this for you, my darling Sagittarians. It's all happening. Yes, it is. Be assertive, they say. Yes. And I mean, you shouldn't have any trouble being assertive. You're a fire sign. You should be able to assert yourself and say, no, I am not going to allow you to suck the life out of me anymore, and I am going to take back. That's the whole message for you this week, my darling Sagittarians. Not the right time, they say. There's something better. Yeah. So you're being encouraged to take time. It's not the right time for you to do anything this week. Take some time for yourself. There's something better. This one. There's something better coming in for you, obviously, this week, my darling Leos. Sagittarians. You are being encouraged, definitely, to take time out. Allow others to help you, which I feel will be, a catalyst for your success, my darling Sagittarians. So beautiful energies coming in for you this week, my darling Sagittarians. Thank you for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Capricorns. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August 11th, 2025. So, my darling Capricorns, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Spirit Animal Oracle. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight Tarot cards, and then finishing off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Capricorns, what messages does Capricorn need to know for this week of the 11th of August, 2025? And we're coming out of the last of the Mercury retro shadow. And the messages this week have all been very positive. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing what your message is. There is always enough. Yeah, I love this card. Koi Fish Spirit. There is always enough. And I feel that, just in general, if you feel that there's not enough, you're going to always feel there is not enough. It's just like the card that Virgo just got was the abundant universe will provide. And it will, because, there is enough for everybody. That is why I usually say with, that off the Five of Wands, the conflict and competition, it's healthy to have competition. When we get into that mind space of, there's not enough for everybody, that greed sort of mentality, then you close yourself off to, what is available in the universe, my darling Capricorns. So, I do feel that it's important to feel that there is enough. There is always enough, my darling Capricorns. And I think it's important to always keep that in the back of your mind, that if, there is enough for everyone. I mean, it's like the YouTube and tarot channels. There are thousands upon thousands of tarot channels on YouTube, but I am grateful that you are listening to me right now. And if you're anything like me, you probably watch 4 or 5 different, tarot channels. So like I said, there is enough for everyone. And yeah, like, I just do it because I love it. I'm not doing it for any other reason. So, get into that energy of there is always enough. All right, let's see. King of Swords, Six of Pentacles, and the Lovers. All right, my darling Capricorn. So what I'm going to do is is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together for you. So you start off here with the King of Swords, and I do feel that you are presenting this week, my darling Capricorns, as the King of Swords. You can see here, he's just sitting very comfortably on his throne here with his sword up in the air. And I always say that this sword is the Ace of Swords, because I feel that that is what he's holding in his hand, is that sword of truth, my darling Capricorns, and that sword of knowledge and wisdom, because that is the energy that he embodies. Now, there's male or female, there is no gender in the tarot. This is just the energy of the card. So I feel this week you're going to be embodying this energy of the King of Swords, where you feel you have all the knowledge and wisdom that you need, my darling Capricorns, and that you feel that you can speak your truth if you need to, my darling Capricorn. So yeah, beautiful energy for you to be in with this King of Swords energy. And then you've got the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is a card of reciprocity, my darling Capricorns. You can see here the scales of balance. It's about, giving and receiving, balancing those energies of giving and receiving. So, if you have been giving too much lately, or you've been receiving too much, it's time now to balance that energy out. And I feel that's important with that koi fish spirit. There is always enough, because we want to feel in the universe that there is enough. Like I said, this is that card of there is enough, because it's that reciprocity, it's balance. It's, what we give out comes back to us, my darling Capricorns. It's usually what we give out comes back to us tenfold, my darling Capricorn. So, that's why we need to make sure that we're balancing the giving and the receiving. There's no point in giving and giving and giving, because A, it's going to burn you out and make you feel resentful of whatever you're giving to. And then there's, on the other side of the coin, receiving too much is going to make it that you can't give, because you're so absorbed in the taking that there's nothing to give, if that makes sense. So that's why it's important to balance those energies out, my darling Capricorns. But I feel that we will. I feel that balance will be restored this week, but I feel that you will be the catalyst for that, my darling Capricorns. And then you have the Lovers card. So this is Gemini energy. So if you have Gemini in your chart, I would go and watch the Gemini reading, because there could be a message there for you. But the Lovers is all about a choice or a decision to make. I am not feeling love off this reading, but there, love is always open to us. So, take that how it resonates. But what I do feel is that there is a choice or a decision for you to make. Or there is some kind of crossroads that you're coming to this week, my darling Capricorns, that is, saying to you, which way will you go? What will you choose? Will you choose, will you choose the road less traveled, or will you choose maybe getting out of your comfort zone here? On the traditional tarot, there's a male and a female, they're standing on either side, and there is a mountain between them. There is the clouds, an angel, and then there's the sun above the angel. The mountain between them represents just that, a mountain between them. It represents a challenge that they're up against, and that there is some kind of, challenge between them, or some kind of, crossroads that they're coming to, my darling Capricorns. So whether that is with you and someone else, I'm not getting another person here other than the Gemini. So, if this is a Gemini that you're coming to this crossroads with, it could be. But like I said, I feel that you're presenting here as that King of Swords. So, yeah. If I'm going to put it all together, I just feel that it's important for you to realize that, there is enough for everyone. That, whatever decision or choice that you need to make, go the way that restores balance, my darling Capricorns. That's what I feel. And I feel that you don't feel that you have all the knowledge and wisdom, but you do. And with the Ace of Swords here, which I'm drawn to, I feel that it's important for you to speak your truth. Speaking your truth will restore balance, is what I feel, my darling Capricorns. But yeah, I do feel that there is, a choice or a decision to make as well with that energy. So yeah, take it how it resonates. But I feel that you feel that there won't be enough. But, with this koi fish spirit, I feel that it's important that you hear there is always enough, my darling Capricorn. So yeah, big energies. And look, the Six of Pentacles has come up quite a lot in this week's readings, just like the Justice card has, my darling Capricorn. So I do feel that, it is a real week of restoring balance and restoring and karmic type of rewards. So so if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I am very active and interactive in the comments, so let me know if this resonates with you. I would love to have a chat. If you can see something in this that I can't, then yeah, please drop it in the comments. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Capricorns. What have we got? Trust. Yes, trust the universe. Trust that, you embodying that King of Swords energy. Trust that you have the knowledge and wisdom that you need, my darling Capricorns. Yeah, remain positive. You need to remain positive in order for the vibes to keep coming in. If you need help, ask for help from others. And that could be that Gemini energy that I was, picking up back here. So, nobody knows you need help unless you ask. In the near future, they say, reconsider. And that could just be that, if you've made a decision and it didn't work out, then make another one. Reconsider. You're allowed. You're allowed to make as many decisions as you need to, my darling Capricorns. So, but yeah, I just feel there is definitely some kind of truth here as well that you may need to be speaking this week, my darling Capricorns. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Aquarians. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to your reading for the week of August 11th, 2025. So, my darling Aquarians, we're just going to jump right in and start off here with an overarching energy using the Spirit Animal Oracle cards. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight Tarot cards, and then finish off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Aquarians, what does Aquarius need to know for this week of August 11th, 2025? What does Aquarians need to know? Snake Spirit, time to heal. Yeah, boy. All these readings this week have been focusing on positivity, on something where people are healing, where, you know, this is just going to be such a beautiful week of healing. I feel that everyone will feel the different change in energy because I'm doing these readings and I'm feeling the change in energy just doing these readings. We are in the last week, this week, of Mercury retro shadow, and I just feel as the week goes on, the energy is going to feel a lot lighter and things are really going to start to take off too. So, you know, for you, my darling Aquarians, with this Snake Spirit, time to heal, this is going to be a really beautiful week for you, is what I feel, for you to, you know, put behind you maybe what, you know, has made you feel a little bit broken in the past. And, you know, this could be the week where you feel that you really have, that you feel that you've healed, my darling Aquarius. So yeah, loving this for you. And yeah, like I said, that the energies that have been around this week for everyone have been so positive. Like, I don't think there's been some challenging cards, but the majority of the readings have, or the other cards that have been in the spreads have been very positive and sort of cancelled those out, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm loving these readings, and I just feel energized. I mean, I do anyway when I do the readings. I'm hot and energized, but yeah, see that I felt that Five of Cups is, yeah, what you need to leave behind. You need to. This is what you're healing from, my darling Aquarians. All right, yeah, the World, can't make this up. Amazing, my darling. And the King of Swords, yeah. All right. And I feel that's you. You're speaking your truth, baby, and you're just cutting out what is no longer serving you, my darling Aquarians. So I'm loving this for you. So what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together. So as I said, you start off with the Five of Cups, and I feel this is what you're healing from, my darling Aquarians, is that feeling of being disappointed by something or someone, my darling Aquarians. I feel that something has happened where you've just something either happened at work, someone betrayed you, someone, you know, was disappointed you by their actions. And I'm not just saying this at work, but, you know, take it how it resonates. It could be work, could be, you know, a friend, it could be a partner, you know, it could have been a family member. Take it how it resonates, but I feel like there has been someone that you felt betrayed by them, and you've been kind of wallowing in that energy a little bit, my darling Aquarians. If I can get real with you for a moment, come a bit closer. I feel that, you know, just let that go, my darling Aquarians. It's time to let that go, to focus and to be in an attitude of gratitude, my darling Aquarians. Be grateful for what you do have here. You can see, if you just maybe looked at the bigger picture, you could see that, well, you know, yes, that hurt you, whatever that was, but no more crying over spilt milk, my darling Aquarians. It's time to pull your big girl or boy pants up and realize that there are many other things that you can be grateful for here. So you're being encouraged, my darling Aquarians, to get out of this energy. It is now time to heal, my darling Aquarians, because you've got the bloody beautiful world here. This is attainment. This is everything that you want, my darling Aquarians. This is you stepping through to a whole new world. This is, you know, you can see this is an olive wreath here. And at the time, you know, it's like peace, olive branch type of, you know, arrangement here. And the World card is the end of the major arcana. It is the last card. After this, the Fool comes in and the journey starts all over again. But the World card is attainment. It is, you know, stepping through to a whole new world. This is your potential, my darling Aquarians. This is where you want to be. This is what will allow you to heal, my darling Aquarians. And it's here for you. You know, it's all here for you. So you've got that potential if you can just let go of what it was that hurt you, or that what it was that is holding you back, or what it is that you feel. And this is all what you feel is keeping you from moving forward, my darling Aquarians. What is keeping you from attainment, my darling Aquarians? This should not, you know, this is joy. Like, I'm feeling so much, like, I just want to, and look, please don't take this the wrong way, but I feel like I want to get you and shake you and go, look what's coming for you, which is, you know, probably freaky, but, you know, I feel that you're just so trapped in this Five of Cups energy that you can't see that this is what's coming for you. You need to be in the energy of the King of Swords, my darling Aquarius. And I feel that you will this week. I feel that you will embody this energy of the King of Swords, that you will have your sword of truth here, which will allow you to cut out any crap that you have been putting up with, my darling Aquarians, and it will allow you to feel that you have all the knowledge and wisdom that you need. You have attained what it is that will help you heal, my darling Aquarians. It will help you, you know, choose to move forward and speak your truth. You know, he holds here the Ace of Swords, the Ace of Truth. You know, I feel that it would benefit you this week, my darling Aquarians, to speak your truth in some way, regardless of the consequences there. I'm not saying to, hurt, go out of your way to hurt someone. That's not what I'm saying. But I feel that your truth needs to be spoken out loud, my darling Aquarians, because I feel that you've allowed yourself to be stifled by someone or something, that you haven't been able to feel that you can speak your truth, my darling Aquarians. But now you can. It's time to heal. It's time to release that negativity, that wallowing in self-pity of the Five of Cups, my darling Aquarians. It's time to embody this beautiful energy of the King of Swords. Be proud, be strong, be knowledgeable, stand your ground, stand up for what you believe in, my darling Aquarians. That's what I feel off this King of Swords for you, is that, you embodying this energy will give you the strength to be able to release this Five of Cups disappointment energy, and and allow you to be able to heal and step through to this beautiful new world, this new portal, this exciting new adventure that's on the way for you, my darling Aquarians. This is just a beautiful reading. I just love, I'm feeling love and vibes off this for you, my darling Aquarians. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. I would love to know if this resonates. I'm very active and interactive in the comments, so make sure you put something down in there and let me know how whether this resonated with you. And, please help my channel to thrive by subscribing. It really does help my channel grow. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Aquarians. Yeah, ask your angels. If you need guidance, ask. Ask, believe, receive, my darling Aquarians. Well, can't make this up. There's your big happy changes. That is you stepping through to the world, my darling Aquarians. That is what is potentially around for you this week. Yeah, but it is up to you. You can't make this up. That's like the universe saying I meant what I said. My darling Aquarians, like I said, that it is just up to you to get out of that wallowing energy. You're ready. Yes, you are, my darling Aquarians. You are ready. Choose a new direction. Yeah, it's coming because you are stepping through to that world energy, that portal type energy, my darling Aquarians. It is all coming in for you this week. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon. Hi there, my darling Pisces. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to your reading for the week of August 11th, 2025. So, my darling Pisces, we're just going to jump right in and start off with an overarching energy using the Spirit Animal Oracle. Then we'll move on to my 3-card spread using my Michelle Knight Tarot cards, and then we will finish off with Angel Answer cards. All right, my darling Pisces, what messages does Pisces need to know for the week of August 11th, 2025? What does Pisces need to know? Be at home, Wombat Spirit. So yeah, I mean, all the messages this week that have come through, my darling Pisces, have been, gentle energy. Like, I feel like this is the last week that we have the Mercury retro shadow. So I feel like we're moving out of that harsher, heavier energy into lighter, peaceful, and positive energies. Like, all the readings I've done so far have been really positive. So, I feel that we're being encouraged this week to just be gentler, and, just pause, take a step back and just be, my darling Pisces. And you are being encouraged to just be at home, enjoy maybe your surroundings, enjoy whatever home means to you, my darling Pisces. You are being encouraged to just be there, it seems. So, love that for you. All right, my darling Pisces, let us consult the tarot and see what messages we've got coming in for you this week. What does Pisces need to know for the week of the 11th of August, 2025? The Knight of Wands, the Moon, which is your energy, and the Justice card. Justice card has come up a lot in these readings. So, yeah, I feel there's a lot of karmic justice coming in this week, my darling Pisces. And you showing up here in your own reading as well is a very powerful omen. So, what I'm going to do is give you the meaning of each of the cards, and then I'm going to intuitively put the reading together, my darling Pisces. So you start off here with the Knight of Wands. And I feel it's ironic that I was saying to pause and, be at home, and that energy when the Knight of Wands is fast, assertive, taking the horse by the reins, action, my darling Pisces. So, it's kind of contradictory energy here, but what I feel is, from what the message that I'm getting for you off the Knight of Wands is to take action towards what it is that brings you peace at home. Take action towards what will allow you to take time out at home, my darling Pisces. So very specific message, I guess, for someone, but I feel that's what I'm getting off the Knight of Wands is, take action, but take action towards what it is that, brings you that peace, I suppose. Take action towards what will allow you to be at home. Whether that's, I'm going to be working, for however long, or, working towards, if you need to work a couple of hours more so you can take more time off at home. It's going to be different for everyone, my darling Pisces. But I just feel that you're being encouraged to take action towards what will allow you to be in that energy, what will allow you to be in, that get to where you want to go, I guess, is the energy, my darling Pisces. Because then you've got the moon, and this is you. You're showing up here, my darling Pisces. And when you show up in your own reading, it allows, you come from a place of power and strength, and it allows you to get what you want from the reading, my darling Pisces. So I love to see this for you. You showing up in your reading means that this is all about you. You're here showing up to say, well, I'm showing that you're literally showing up. That's what's popped into my head, my darling Pisces, that, and I can see that there is karmic justice coming in for you this week. So whatever this is an amazing reading all about you, my darling Pisces. So, look, the moon card is all about casting shadows, but the moon illuminates, and it illuminates what is hidden, my darling Pisces. So just be aware that even though this is your card, to be aware of what may be hidden from you, my darling Pisces, and to, you don't have to take any action towards it, but just be aware that it exists, my darling Pisces. But I do feel for you that, that just you showing up here allows you to come from a place of power and strength. Like this is, it makes the whole reading positive here for you. And then you've got the beautiful Justice card. So like I said, and that was what I was feeling as soon as I pulled it, was, wow, karmic justice is coming in for you. And look, there's been a lot, as I said, when I said that at the start that the energy had shifted this week to be more positive, this is why. There's been a lot of karmic justice energy coming in this week. And, I feel for you that you're one of the recipients of that karmic justice, karmic rewards. What is it that you have been working towards, my darling Pisces? It is all coming to you this week. It is, if you feel like you've just been working and nothing has been happening, here it comes, my darling Pisces. You can see here the scales of balance. She's holding her arm up. She's righteous. If it's, karmic justice, it could also be, if you've been waiting on the outcome of a lawsuit as well, or some kind of insurance claim, or, something where you have been needing justice, here it is, my darling Pisces. With that Mercury retrograde, it takes us back to the past. It stalls anything from moving forward. And now, as we're coming out of that retro shadow, the Knight of Wands is pushing you forward. That energy is pushing forward. And here is your outcome, my darling Pisces. Karmic, beautiful karmic justice and reward for you. I am loving this for you, my darling Pisces. So, I've already pretty much put it all together, but I just feel, you show up here. That's it. You illuminate what's hidden in the shadows, so you are aware of what it is that is hidden in the shadows. You're being encouraged to take bold, assertive action towards what makes you, or what illuminates these, what's hidden, my darling Pisces. Take action towards what's hidden, and you will receive your karmic rewards. Take action towards what what will allow you to be at home, my darling Pisces. I feel with you showing up here, this is you at home. You know, you feel that you're in this energy of being at home, my darling Pisces. I just love this for you. It's such powerful reading for you, my darling Pisces. So if you're enjoying the reading so far, please do give it a thumbs up for me. You know, I'd love to know if this resonates. Put it down in the comments. Just drop me an emoji. Drop me some scales if you feel that you're due some karmic rewards, my darling Pisces. I would love to know what's happening there for you. And please help my channel to thrive by subscribing. It really does help my channel grow. Share it, put it out there, please. All right, let's get final messages for you, my darling Pisces. Oh, there you go. Golden opportunity is coming in for you, my darling Pisces. And that's what I said. You know, you showing up is pushing you towards this energy, my darling, of, you know, karmic rewards, definitely. No need to worry, they say. That's right. Don't worry. It's all going to work out. Yeah, because there's a peaceful resolution coming in, my darling Pisces, which, you know, beautiful energy here. Let's see what else we've got. Not the right time, they say. Reconsider. And look, you know, that could be anything here, my darling Pisces. You know, it could be that it's not the right time to, you know, rush ahead. It's not the right time. You're being encouraged to be at home. So only you're going to know what that energy is, my darling Pisces. And, you know, where it's saying to you to reconsider, it's just, you know, maybe it's asking you to reconsider how you feel about something, my darling Pisces. I don't know, but this is a beautiful, positive reading for you, my darling Pisces. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll be back again soon.